Good afternoon. My name is Sanaya Morgan. Do you often find that you never have enough time to get things done in your life? It may seem like time is never on your side and there's too many tasks for you to complete in a day. Well, thankfully, there's a solution to this problem. Whether you're a student in college trying to keep up with the fast-paced environment and assignments, or an average adult that works a demanding 9-to-5 job, there's always a way to manage your workload so that it's easier for you. As I stand in front of you all today, I take note of the fact that many of you had to take time off of work or shift a few plans in your schedule to give me a piece of your time. As the world evolves at a faster rate every day, it becomes more difficult to maintain a healthy way of accomplishing our everyday tasks. Struggling to have good time management is more common than most people think and can be preventable in many ways. So if you're one of those people and want to find a good way to manage your time, then I encourage you to listen and engage in today's presentation. With that being said, today I'd like to provide 3 important ways that you can improve your time management skills: prioritizing tasks, having day-to-day organization, and planning ahead. By practicing these 3 skills, you will find that time isn't as limited as you think, and that you'll be able to get more things done in a timely manner. In doing so, not only will the time management aspect of your life improve significantly, but other factors that were being impacted by it will too. The first skill that will help improve your time management is prioritizing your tasks. So what does it mean to prioritize? According to businessdictionary.com, prioritizing is when you complete things in the form of a process. When you take a group of items and arrange them in an order that indicates the importance or urgency of that particular thing, you are prioritizing it. The first thing you should do when prioritizing your task is to make a list of what's at the top and bottom of your priorities. This will allow you to get things done accordingly. The creator of TimeManagement.com, Tom Wilson, also supports this way of improving time management. He states that you should break down your list into 3 types of work: single task, recurring task, and projects. This can also vary depending on what you're making your list for. But the purpose of this is to make sure you can differentiate between each task and allow your brain to process what should get done first. As a visual learner, I like to color code and number things accordingly. This could also include adding deadlines and any other important pieces of information that may help me highlight the importance of that task. Now, if you're not like me, you may be someone that is fine with having a checklist or having things written down on a random sticky note. Sometimes checking things off or having little reminders here and there can give you a feeling of accomplishment and can help jog your memory when necessary. There is no right or wrong way to go about completing tasks, so do whatever works best for you. No matter what kind of person you are, it's important to have a physical representation of everything you need to get done. Another benefit of prioritizing your tasks is that it will allow you to make any necessary changes and decisions that may be beneficial to your schedule. Sometimes when we have a longer list of tasks we need to get done, it's easy to make a mistake or factor in things that may prevent us from completing it. When you're prioritizing, you have to take into account a lot of things. This could be something financial or something personal. For example, you have to go grocery shopping for your kids, but you find out you don't have enough money when you get to the counter. You won't always be able to stick to your list, so you should be prepared to make any changes necessary. This could mean calling someone and asking for money, or waiting until you have enough to complete the task another time. You still have to be able to hold yourself accountable because you know how important it is. I know that sounds stressful, but what if you thought about it this way? Your shopping plans may be canceled, but it was probably something that was stressing you out. So now you'll be able to do something that's not as stressful, like watching a movie with your family instead. Try not to immediately think the worst and make do with the situation in a healthy way. The second skill that will help improve your time management is having day-to-day organization. A common way people do that is by having a calendar. Most people don't use physical ones anymore, so having an electronic one may be more beneficial as it has more space for information. Some organization platforms like Outlook Calendar have various features that can meet your needs when it comes to remaining organized. As a college student, I use tools like this on a daily basis so I'm able to keep up with my workload. I also want to point out that practicing this form of organization can benefit both your physical and mental health. It's important to minimize the amount of pressure we're putting on ourselves. One of the many benefits of this is stress relief. In terms of mental health, stress is one of the biggest obstacles that people face. We are constantly on the go and doing some form of activity, so there's always room for stress. An employee development specialist at Beaumont states that the most productive thing that can be done is simply tracking your day. She says, when you have a to-do list, honestly assess the amount of time you spend completing it. Will it really take 2 hours to complete that task because of the task itself or because of the interruptions you allow? If we really focus and think about what we need to do, we won't let anything set us back. In terms of physical health, there are many ways you can improve, but a good one would be to be more productive at work. It could be as simple as going through the files in a filing cabinet or throwing away the garbage you have piling up in your office. Intentionally eliminating anything that can contribute to clutter will benefit you tremendously. Another way day-to-day organization can help your time management is by allowing you to have more time to do things during the day. 24 hours may seem like enough time to fit everything you want to do in a day, but it isn't. Not when you have priorities in your life, that can prevent you from having time to yourself. If you take the time to focus on what it is you need to get done, you'll find that time is somewhat unlimited. If you don't do it that day, there will always be another day to do it. You have to be able to pick and choose what's more important. The last thing is that your tasks will no longer feel like a chore and will instead feel like more of an accomplishment. You know how people say if you aren't finding enjoyment in what you're doing, then you probably shouldn't be doing it? Well, that applies here. You will find more enjoyment in something if you know you'll be rewarded. When you're organizing your tasks, make a goal for yourself. Allowing yourself 2 hours of extra freedom from that assignment you were working on can be a reward. It can be anything. Humans are naturally geared to work harder for something they want if they know it'll benefit them. So why not get the most out of it? The last skill that will help you improve your time management is always planning for things ahead of time. Planning things ahead of time will relieve you of any doubts you may have about an upcoming event. This could pertain to simple tasks as well. When you plan ahead, you are setting yourself up for success. Preparation is something we're all familiar with, so go about it as if you were planning for a party you're super excited about. Planning things in advance will also allow you to make better decisions in the days leading up to the main event. The president of Absolute Exhibits, Jan Koren, states that taking the time to plan intentionally gives your brain more time to think and make well-informed decisions. If you're purposefully making a decision to go through with a plan, then you most likely implement it. Think about students in school. As a student, there are assignments that they have to complete for each class that they take. The work can pile up and can cause them to feel overwhelmed and even procrastinate. They know they have to get the assignments done or it will affect them negatively. They also know that there's a process to completing things. Taking that into account, they can start planning accordingly. They can decide to place each assignment on a different day, each one leading up to the day that they have to turn the assignment in. As the days go on, they're able to complete each assignment and eventually all of their work is done. When planning ahead, they have now allowed themselves to become more comfortable in their decisions leading up to that point. Student or not, a better result will come out of planning ahead than if you were to wait until the last minute to do it. Today I have identified 3 important ways that you can improve your time management skills: task prioritization, implementing day-to-day organization, and planning ahead of time. Now that I've allowed you all to think about how to manage your time, I would like for you to implement at least one of these. Incorporate them into your lifestyle slowly. That way you'll be able to adjust accordingly. I hope today's presentation was able to provide more insight for you all. If you take away anything from today's lesson, it should be that there is always a way to make your life easier. Thank you for your time.